If you watch until the end of this video, you are going to learn 3 potential potholes that you may have fallen into with regards to the philosophy of Stoicism. And if you have fallen into one of these potholes, that means that you're on a trajectory of your life that you don't want to go on, and it's potentially one that's very dangerous and could lead you to a place where you don't want to be, where you think that you're growing and you think you're doing personal development, but because you've got one of these misconceptions or you've fallen into one of these potholes, you're actually going backwards instead of going forwards. So we're going to reveal to you first of all what those 3 things are, and then at the end of the video I'll show you what you can do in order to get rid of those 3 potholes and steer well clear of them so that you are actually growing and you are actually making progress in your personal development as quickly as you want to be. And if you enjoy this video, then make sure you hit the like button. And if you've got any videos that you want me to create, then feel free to leave me a comment. I'm going to be reading every single comment and I'll be making videos based on your recommendations, so make sure you leave me a comment. So the first pothole of Stoicism is one that I fell into around maybe 6 months to a year ago. And it's important to note that when I talk about all of these potholes, I'm not criticizing the philosophy of Stoicism. I'm just saying either problems with the way people talk about the philosophy of Stoicism, or problems with the way people perceive the philosophy of Stoicism, and their interpretation of Stoicism can actually be quite damaging. So, the first one that I fell into 6 months ago. What happened was I've been applying the philosophy of Stoicism and all of these different concepts to my life for quite a while now. And it got to the point where I was so good at dealing with negative events that I would no longer react negatively emotionally. So a negative event would happen and I wasn't reactive. I would stay completely calm, completely present, and it wouldn't affect me at all. And the problem with this, I'll tell you through a story. What happened was I would drive my road bike, and I just got a road bike. Road bikes are actually pretty fast compared to a mountain bike. If you've never gone on a road bike, I'd highly recommend you try it. But what happened was the road bike got a flat tire. Now, for some reason, something went in it, the tire was flat. Not a problem. I took it back home and I repaired it. And again, I didn't react emotionally because I'd been practicing the philosophy of Stoicism. I thought, this isn't under my control, these things happen, great, this is an opportunity for me to practice my patience. This is an opportunity for me to see if the philosophy of Stoicism is actually working for me. Not a problem, I took it home, I repaired it, and then a week later, I took the bike out again, I was going along, everything was going smoothly, but exactly the same thing happened. I got another flat just a week later. And the thing is, again, I didn't react emotionally. It wasn't a problem. I said, these things happen. I even chuckled to myself. How funny is it? 2 bad things to happen in a week. But the thing is, that second puncture could have been avoided. And it might have been avoided if I had never heard of the philosophy of Stoicism at all. Because most people, when the tire the first time had got flat, they would have reacted angrily, they would have reacted emotionally, they would have flared up. That would have been me a few years ago. But then what would have happened is they would have learned the lesson because of that emotional response. So one of the benefits of having these emotions, and one of the benefits to actually reacting negatively to these kind of events, is you're far more likely to internalize the lesson. You're far more likely to actually do something about it in the future. And that's one of the potential pitfalls of the philosophy of Stoicism. If you are so good at reacting unemotionally and they don't let it affect you at all, then there's a chance that you'll be slower to learn the lesson because there's not those emotions to back it up and to really drill the lesson home. So that's just something that you should be careful about. The second potential pitfall is some misconception around the dichotomy of control. So I'm sure you know the dichotomy of control states there are some things in your control and there are other things not within your control. And if something's not within your control, you should simply sit back, accept that fact, and love it because you've got no control over it. But people misconceive this. They think that their life is not within their control. They think that so many things around them aren't within their control. And that's potentially negative. Because there was this scientific study about the locus of control. And that study concluded that if people believe that they have a lot of control over their life, they're going to be happier. And if people perceive they don't have much control over their life and things just happen to them, they're more likely to be negative happy and they're more likely to be unhappy. That's the word, not negative happy. They're more likely to be unhappy and they're more likely to be tired. They're more likely to be lazy. They're more likely to get sick. So be careful when you talk about the dichotomy of control. Yes, there are some things that you can't control in your life. But that doesn't mean that you have no control over your life. In fact, I believe that you have much more control than most people believe over your life. I think that, yes, in each event, you have some of your control and you have some of your not control. But over time, and so many of these miniature events, loads of miniature events that dictate your life, loads of decisions you make, loads of things that happen to you, if you constantly exert your control over those small events, in the long run, you have a huge amount of control about your life. So just be careful about that one. Then the third thing is a problem that I've got with the community of Stoicism. So a lot of the videos you watch about Stoicism, a lot of the books you read about Stoicism, and a lot of the conversation about Stoicism is exactly that. It's about Stoicism. It was about its founders. It was about the area that it was created. It was about what is in the philosophy of Stoicism, but I don't care about any of that. You may have noticed that although one of the main things I talk about on this channel is Stoicism, I don't even know the history of Stoicism. Not once. I mean, there's Zeno. I know that Zeno founded it, but I don't know how all that works. I don't know the relationships between all of that, and I just don't care, because I don't care about the philosophy of Stoicism. I care how can it affect my life, and how can I apply it to my life. So the problem is people are trying to learn all of these details about the relationships and how everything works and how all of these things fit together, all of these relationships and the timeline that goes on and Mark Aurelius and his son and all of that confusion. I don't care about all of that, and I don't think you should either. I think you should be worried about how can you apply this philosophy to your life and how can you reap the incredible benefits of this philosophy in your life. Because if you truly apply it, there are those incredible benefits, and that's a huge problem. So the way I came around this problem was I started sending emails to a small amount of people. There was just a small group of us, and I would send emails. I would read about the philosophy of Stoicism, and I would really try and apply it to my own life. And I would write, okay, right, this is a great example, and I would write it as an email. Then what happened was more and more people started getting interested in these emails, and more people wanted to receive these emails of practical, simple, easy ways for you to apply Stoicism in the 21st century. I mean, I'm just a 20-year-old kid. I'm here living in the world that you're living in, the same world you're living in, with distractions all around us, chaos all around us, mental things going around us, extreme of the internet, things are getting crazy, things are getting polarized. I'm here with you. So I started sending these emails about how to deal with all of that and how to truly live the best kind of life based on this Stoicism and based on all of the other stuff that I'm reading. And over time, more and more people signed up for these emails. There's 100 people signed up, then 1,000 people signed up, then 10,000 people signed up. Now more than 12,000 people regularly receive these emails from me about how to actually apply the philosophy of Stoicism in my life. And I mean, it's open for you. If you want to join that email list and you want to really understand how you can take this abstract concept of the philosophy of Stoicism and apply it specifically to your life, the problems you're going through and the goals you want to achieve, then there's a link in the description and you'll be able to go ahead, you'll be able to sign up and you'll be able to receive that. And that will get over the problem that people have with talking about the philosophy of Stoicism, but not talking enough about how to actually apply it. So, like I said, this video is not about the criticisms of Stoicism. It's just misconceptions about this philosophy of Stoicism, or misinterpretations with the philosophy of Stoicism, or the way that people talk about the philosophy of Stoicism. So if you've enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a like, and if you're new around here, and again, you really want to apply this abstract concept to your life and reap all of those benefits, as well as a lot of other stuff from how to focus to how to stop procrastinating, make sure you click the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.